this is the squat tutorial. I'm going to try and teach you how to do this as simply as possible. It's going to be a quite quick tutorial just to make sure that you can perform the squat and not get injured. I like to start off with a quick mobilization. 2 mobilizations I suggest you try, really good ones, are the rack squat. So just grab hold of any purchase over here, just keep your shins vertical, make sure the knees don't come forward, and just sit all the way down and back up, just drive up, keep the shins vertical. Spine straight, which is a good mobilization for the hips and knees. Another fairly good mobilization, which I think is perfect for the squat, is the prisoner squat. So keep your hands behind your head, chest height, and just squat down. Just perform a normal squat. Try and keep your chest height. Squatting down and up. Keep a good tight arch in the back. I think it's fantastic in preparation for this squat. Now, components for the squat over here. Again, this is just a quick tutorial. It's a very technique-heavy exercise, surprisingly. But if you can adhere to the points I give here, you'll be able to perform the squat with a heavy weight and not get injured, which is important. So, first of all, a lot of people like to grip the bar with the thumb over the top. When you start lifting proper weight, you're not going to want to do this because it's going to slip out of your hand. So, wrap your thumb around the bar. Next thing is don't have my preference is to not have the grip so wide. I have the grip fairly narrow so I can tighten up the muscles in my back to help support the weight. So, also don't rack the bar too high. You want to be able just to come underneath, get into position, and then just lift off only a couple of inches. You don't want to be reaching for the bar, especially when you've got a lot of weight on, because you'll start to get compressed, and you'll end up tiptoeing and racking the bar, which is also not a good idea. So, the idea when you do the squat here, as you're squatting down, you want to keep the chest high. You don't want to squat this way. Your spine doesn't want to go less than 45 degrees. Also, you want to maintain, we'll do this from the ground up, when you're squatting, you really want to keep the shoulders and the hips driving up at the same time. So a lot of people will drive up with the butt first and then lift up and try to get the weight up anyway, anyhow. Don't do that, because again, when you start lifting proper weight, and what I mean by proper weight, I mean 1.5 to 2 times your body weight on the squat would be ideal. That's what you're working up to. When you start lifting that kind of weight and you lift it wrong, injuries, all that's got to be your reward if you don't train hard properly. So the next stage is to drive your legs first, hip recruitment, core activation, and you want to be driving all the way up at the same time. Keep your shoulder packed and the crown to coccyx alignment. A lot of people will squat and keep the head up. If you keep the head up, you're going to strain your neck and cause an injury. You want to keep the crown to coccyx alignment. It's all in one line. You should be able to get a broomstick and just run it down your spine. That means, yeah, you're not looking up. I now have a mirror in front of the squat here, in front of the squat rack. A lot of people do. What I suggest is that you don't look at your mug in the mirror as you're trying to squat. Keep your gaze. For me, I'm keeping my gaze just in front of me, into the corner over here, and that will ensure that my spine stays in good alignment. So I'll show you a couple of reps of the squat without waving the bar. So I come in, I tighten everything up, I tie my abs and my glutes up, I grab the bar, I keep my head at the correct position, I lift off, I take no more than 1 step back. My feet are shoulder width apart, I'm keeping my gaze to the corner of the floor over there. I keep a tight arch in my back, and I pull myself down, and then I drive up, hips and shoulders coming up at the same time, here. As I pull myself down with my hip flexors, I'm going to exhale, power breathe all the way up. This way, pull myself down, and back up. 1 step forward, racked. Let's say perform a squat without hurting yourself. Okay, compensation for the squat is camel pose. So from here, you're going to grab your heels, turn your arms around, grab your heels. You're going to rotate your shoulders backwards, and you're going to drive your hips up towards the ceiling. Allow your head to rock backwards, and you want to tense your glutes because this will loosen off the hip flexors. So it looks like this. When you're in this position, just allow your head to roll back. Keep sniffing air in. Keep pulling with your hands. Driving your hips up and expanding the whole front of the leg. Again, 30 seconds to